So first, I need to take some packages to the post office, and second, we have this brand new Lectric XP3.0 that we need to proof of concept. So the very first thing I'm going to do is turn this thing on, change the settings, take it for a ride, show you that it's factory, and then we're going to come back and install a new controller that is throttle unlocked. We'll put on a new color screen. We're going to make this thing dual battery with the ElectricAllWheel dual battery kit, and then I'll show you it already has some Allscapes installed, and we are pretty excited to ride on those. They look pretty good, but I wanted to get this first ride out of the way before we even start the video. So here we go. So first things first, let's get into the settings. P08, it's on 32, so you can see it. And we're just going to bump that up to 100, so it's max 100 kilometers per hour. Close this down. And then I'm going to take it. I'm going to go to the post office real quick, and then while I'm out riding, I will show you the max speed, how it's related to PAZ, and then that will give you a baseline for what we're going to do in this video. All right, PAZ 1. How you doing? Okay, so one of the things that really aggravated me about what happened with the new settings is they linked the throttle to the PAZ settings, so you got to go PAZ 5 to go full throttle, which is aggravating. And then you can't do full throttle without being in PAZ 5, which means you can't come back on a throttle scenario and then pedal your way into the setting that you want, which is, I just don't understand why they did this. The worst of all companies to do it is not Himue, Haybike. Oh my gosh. Their settings, when you go to unlock throttle, it will take every PAZ and then release it so there's no limit. So PAZ 1 will go full speed pedaling or not, and it's just ridiculous. So I think that this settings update with Lectric was a backtrack to what they had, but we're here to fix that. So I'm going to show you that. We're going to drop these packages off real quick, and then we'll take it down the trail and show you how it goes. I haven't ridden a single battery Lectric in some time, and I anticipate just killing it, but we're gonna put on a second 48 volt 10 amp hour battery, the little black high-long battery, and it'll be just fine. Okay. So let's do this. Bring it back to PAZ 1. Let's pedal. And honestly, this setting sucks unless you do the power output, and I really don't believe that I should have to do that either, but I recognize that it is a situation. So we're looking at about 9 miles an hour off factory settings, so out of the box. PAZ 2. PAZ 3. Looking like 21-ish. and then we'll take it onto the street for 4 and 5. There's 4. It's a little bit of a downhill, and so we can imagine that PAS 5 will just power it out with PAS. Now this is me pedaling. I think there's so many electric videos out here, everybody gets the idea, and I just wanted to put it out there and make sure that everybody gets the concept of what the attempt is. We're also going uphill on this run around, so keep that in mind if you're just like, why is it doing it like that? Perfect. We like our fully charged batteries for sure. But all related to the PAS selection. So here is what we're going to do now. I'm going to show you my feet. I am not pedaling. And then this thing is going to top out at the dismal 18 to 19 miles an hour. And it's just like, oh, I know you have more. Please do the thing that you just did. And it won't do it because of the class settings, which at this point in time in the world, everybody's freaking out about the new California e-bike laws, but the reality is all they did was reiterate the federal standards. And in my world, it is to say that just don't act like an idiot, right? And if you do that, we should be okay. I do like to have the full capabilities of my bike, and that is why we pursued the controller that will allow you to utilize full throttle. Now that we've demonstrated this, no pedaling, I am fully on the throttle. It doesn't push past 19 miles an hour no matter what I want. We're gonna get back and then do this install and then get back out on the trail and show it to you and how it works. We'll do it with the factory display first and then show you that the color display works, but that's pretty much a known thing right now. We just made the color display available so you could get the package. What's up, everybody? It is Matt from ElectricAllWheel. Hurricane repairs are done and we are back in action. It is now 2025 and the Lectric XP3.0 has been on the market for some time. We are here excitedly to tell you that we are going to be adding an unlocked throttle controller to the XP3.0. We are going to demo this with the factory display, and then we are going to actually add the ElectricAllWheel M7C2 color display and a dual battery kit that we have sold to a lot of the ElectricAllWheel faithful. So we really appreciate your support. We're going to leave links to all of the items that we use in this video in the description below. Keep in mind, we do sell a bundle, so you can get the dual battery kit, the color display, and the controller as one package at a discount. So if you're going full tilt on your upgrades to your XP3.0, go down that road with us. It is worthwhile, and it was made for all of you loyal electric riders. We have added some HEB Allscapes, the 20x3s. We were the first ones to get our hands on them for the XP3.0, and they're very popular throughout the e-bike community. And we have them available in the ElectricAllWheel.com store. So please, if you favor us and you want us to support the channel, go ahead and utilize the links in the description below for these products. And from here on out, we're just going to show you how to get this done. We're going to do a full plug and play fit of the new controller. We're going to pull the factory controller, put in the new controller. We will test that out, and then we are going to turn on the color controller, but I don't think I'm going to show you the full install with all the screws and everything else. While we do the controller install, we are going to add the 20 amp universal kit, and then I will show you the USB accessory adapter so that you can power some of your USB devices inline without having to use the DX2. But we do recommend utilizing the DX2, especially if it's going to be a permanent install. Our install for the USB accessory will be powered off of the second battery, the black Hylong, the battery that you guys see us use so much throughout all of our videos. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out E-Bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Listen, all you new members need to get in there, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. It is the perfect weather here in Florida now, so get out there and do that thing. We are excited to be back. We are excited to show you these mods for the XP 3.0. Here we go. All right, on this model, the smaller screws are on the top, so you guys just make sure you keep that in mind. Got this cap off. The next thing I need to do is go ahead and undo the zip ties for the motor cable. And I'm just going to go ahead and unplug the motor cable. All right, this thing is rolled backwards. I'm going to unplug the battery plate. And I'm just going to get in here and get a hold of this thing and lift it out. Now, the very first point of tension is going to be the harness for the display and everything that runs up. It's a little short, so what you want to do is get in here and grab a hold of your extra cables and just push it down. The cable wraps are what's kind of binding that, so just keep it in mind. You'll be able to get it. It's not much of an issue. And I'm just going to unplug everything. Here's the motor cable that I unplugged. And then here is my cable harness. And that is your factory controller. You have a 20 plus or minus 1 amp current limit. That's the reasoning for the 20 amp balancer. It's right at the line, but it's good enough. The threshold tolerance for the balancer, it exceeds 20 amps, but we definitely wanted to match that spec. 48 volts, and your cutoff voltage is 40.5 plus or minus 1 volt. And this was made in 2023. Factory controller, this is your replacement. You have the max current of 20. We try to keep the same specs. Your low voltage cutoff runs down to 39, so you may run into cutoff with the battery versus this one. Your rated current is 10 amps, so that's your nominal run, meaning your average current output. So what I like to do is just make sure that I have a hold of my main harness, or my main cable harness connection here. But the most difficult thing will be putting through the motor cable, so that's what I'm going to concentrate on. So once that goes in, then I'm going to grab a hold of the connector for my main cable harness. That's here. And then there are a couple ways. One, you have the lettering to line up, and then there's a little notch inside of the connection here. So you just make sure you don't ruin it when you put it in. And then when you're connecting it, it is a little tight, so you just want to do that. And just make sure it clicks in. From there, you're going to connect your pads and lights. And yeah. Is that perfect? Now I'm going to take my balancer, and then it does come with, the kit comes with 2 cables. I'm just going to take one and then run it through, but I'm going to go ahead and plug this in and pretend like this is the extra battery. So there are 2 inputs for the battery on the 20 amp kit. Just going to plug that in here, and then I'm going to run this loose end down through. Perfect. I have a hold of it in my right hand. Now I have this connection. Now you have the controller, and this balancer has controller output here. It is the male XT60 with the female pins, and then you just plug that in. There's really no way to mess this up. You just plug it in as it sits. From there, the last thing to hook up is your battery plate, and you'll just go ahead and hook that up right here. So what I've found on these is the installation of the balancer to alleviate any room over time. Anybody that's been with us for a while knows that this has been a trick for some. I just take the balancer, lay it on its side, and then just slip it into the bottom. For the controller, I'm just going to put it back down inside, just like so. And then we're going to bring up the battery plate and get that there. Reattach the motor cable and zip tie it back up. The arrows will line up here on the cable face, so we'll do that. And then right here is our second battery connection. Make sure and grab all of your cables when you wrap them back up so you got everything secured nice and tight. And now I'm going to take my battery and just go ahead and slip it in this compartment here. So I am going to run my cable up and then strap it utilizing the battery straps. And then right at this connection is where I want to demonstrate to you how to use this USB accessory. We're not going to leave it permanent, so I'm going to leave it wrapped, but you can see that it has the 2 ends here, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug it into the battery. And then this allows for the bypass and current to be drawn into the bike so that the battery not only powers the USB accessory, but it also powers the bike. And then I've brought out an iPad just to show you that it's charging. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Apple USB charger cable, and then maybe you'll hear it. Nope, but you can see the charger icon is now lit up, and that is being powered by the second battery, but that battery can also power the bike. So set that down. And let me see if I can demonstrate that for you without like binding up any of the cables. There we go. That is one. And then that's your second battery, and you see that the wheel is running, the bike is in half, so you know it's not your factory battery, and we are good to go there. Pretty excited about that. I am going to take this iPad down, get the bike off of the rack, and then we're going to take it for a ride. I'm also going to remove this USB accessory. All right, so we are back in action. I have my dual battery XP3.0, the second 48 volt 10 amp hour battery, factory battery, which has lost a little juice from that test ride from the beginning of the video. We are on factory display with aftermarket controller, and we are just going to take this baby out. Let's see if it even held our settings. Yes, it did. Cool. It'll work. All right, let's take this thing for a ride. I'm gonna get you out to the trail and we'll start the video again. PAS 1, I'm just gonna throttle it up. I'm gonna go ahead and show you that my legs aren't moving, no PAS. And this is full throttle, and let's see if we can get up to the top speed. Already breaking away, so you know that the settings aren't the same and you can throttle past the max 20 miles an hour. I am 220 pounds currently, so all of that plays a factor. Wind will play a factor. The slope of the ground will play a factor, but you can see that it's moving up into that 24 mile an hour range. It is limited by the size of the motor. All right, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Always time for the wheelie, kids. Just be a good steward, that's all I ask. I appreciate what they do, just be safe. So here we are again. So we're pulling, this is throttle only, and then we are getting out on an uphill. This is a slight incline where I'm at. Regardless of anything, it is the fact that it will go beyond the 20 mile an hour marker that is what pleases me the most. Now, we're gonna go ahead and take it out. This is throttle only. Make sure we watch this car. Thank you. All right, I'm very happy with this. Those of you that are looking for 28 peak, it will depend on your size, like your personal size and the terrain that you're on. And keep in mind that this is still just the 500 watt motor. You're not gonna get 750 watt performance out of a 500 watt rear hub from Lectric. It's just not gonna go down. But the key here is that the throttle has been unlocked from connection to the PAS settings, as well as the ability to do it in any one of the PAS settings. So that was the goal for the controller, and with that goal, we are pleased to be able to get past that 20 mile an hour mark. Keep in mind that was all in PAS 1. So PAS 5 will do the same. Thank you. All right, let's see what we can do here. And that's about what I expect. What you may not know is I lost a lot of stuff during the hurricane, which sucked really bad. Lost a lot of controllers, lost a lot of displays, and it was right in the middle of actually doing product testing as well. But we're here and we got it. All right. And I just like that it will break 20 going up an incline, throttle only. That to me pleases me the most. I hated the way that the acceleration just capped out about 18, especially with the power upgrade, the PWR. I was not a big fan of that at all. So this is throttle only right now. And I just need to tone it down while we're in the midst of the crowd. It's a very popular trail day. So throttle only again. So 24 seems to be about my marker for my size. I'm a big sail as well. So a lot of drag created by my upper torso. So my expectations are met in terms of the capabilities of the throttle, especially on this incline. As you see, we're moving up and it's still throttling up to 22 and keeps going. And then as we move down this hill, I expect probably 24, 25. Yep, that about does it. Maybe 26. Are we gonna do it? Oh, so close. Either way, I'm pleased. We're very happy that this has got it going on. We know that the color display is gonna work with this thing, so we're not worried about it. I will plug it in shortly just to show you the power is off. If you guys are curious about its function, I want you to check out some of Richard Lewis. Shout out to Richard Lewis. He is the admin for a large majority of the specific model for e-bikes of the Lectric brand. So Richard writes a lot of posts, informative posts for your information, and he will share these products as well and all of his discoveries. One thing he has already done is put it on the XP3.0, not the controller, but the color display, and it works. The function is there even for the cruise control, which for a lot of aftermarket stuff you lose. So we are happy with that, and we appreciate Richard putting out that information for us while we were in our hurricane transition period. There we go. I'm gonna pull out this M7C2. All I'm really gonna do is just plug this in to demonstrate that it does turn on. I'll show you throttle. It runs through the pads. The settings, you're just gonna follow the P settings of the original factory stuff, and the display does come with its own, but not all of them will be relevant to the Lectric XP3.0. So keep in mind the original settings for the P settings of the Lectric XP 3.0, and you should be fine. Follow the general controls for that. Keep in mind you will lose your mileage. And there you go. So it's the same color display and the same look that you get with the newer model Lectrics, same color outline, and you'll just use the same functionality as you would with your typical displays. So plus and minus will get you into your P settings, use the power to run through. P08 is the most important, 100 is max, and then this one actually goes through all the digits, so just keep that in mind. Well, there you have it. We have successfully installed an aftermarket controller that unlocks the throttle. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, I must get to 28 miles an hour, but you have to be understanding of the relative capabilities of the bike. And we didn't add extra current draw to the factory setup. All we did was unlock the restrictions, eliminating the class 2 aspect, pushing it into the class 3 availability of throttle all the way up. You will need to check your local government regulations to make sure you're legal, and you will do this at your own risk. You will also have to agree to a terms and conditions on the website before you can buy it, so keep that in mind. If you guys are wanting the dual battery setup as well and the color display, we do have a bundle package, so feel free to use that so that you can get a better discount for all three of these items. And then check out the USB accessory that you saw us demonstrate in line here. It allows for the passing of current from the second battery. It draws power from the second battery, not the primary inside the body, but it gives you a hookup, plug and play for some USB accessories. And I know a lot of you out there have been really looking for that. There's not a lot of power coming through the USB hookup on the color display because of the factory setup and harness. So don't anticipate being able to charge up a phone through the color display. You're going to need a different connection for that. Keep that in mind. Get back to the controller. Most of the settings on that controller are going to be the same. Everything that is set by your display with the controller is as is. The only thing that the new controller does is it unrestricts the throttle connection to PAS and also the throttle speed limit at 20 miles an hour. Your size, your weight, the physical conditions of the terrain around you, the tires that you have on your bike. We love these Allscapes, but they add a little bit more weight. So everything's going to come down just a little bit. What we wanted was to not be restricted by the PAS selection in terms of our speed with throttle, and we did not want to have to go through all paths to get up to full throttle. We wanted the ability to go full throttle and then ride out with our path selection. Typically, I'm in paths 2. That seems to be where I'm most comfortable, but I wanted the ability to use throttle to the full speed capabilities of the bike when I wanted it without having to change path selections, which is now prevalent on the newer models. The older ones didn't do that, but this controller will not work with the XP 1.0. It will not work with the XP 2.0. So you guys keep that in mind. Don't set your expectations like you're going to be getting a 750 watt rear hub Master Blaster e-bike. This is just providing the capability to unlock the restrictions of the throttle, and getting it past that 20 mile an hour marker was perfect for me, and that was the goal. We did not push for a lot more power. We kept those stats the same. So make sure you temper your expectations. We are still pleased with this, and we are happy to offer it to the ElectricAllWheel community. It's for sale, especially for the electric riders, because I know there have been a lot of people seeking advice on how to do this, and we just wanted to make it possible, putting the price at a manageable economic value for you guys. So it's just something that you can have, and it's worthwhile to get, and for the return on that investment. Pretty pleased with this. I haven't done an install like this on a 3.0 in some time, the original video. All you guys that are out there that have subscribed to the channel and been watching faithfully, thank you very, very much. We appreciate you utilizing the links in the video description for all the products available. The 20x3 Allscapes are where it is at with the reflective rim. We really, really are happy with those. The ElectricAllWheel dual battery discharge balance kit has kept us being successful and able to move this channel forward. We are moving in close to 10,000 subscribers, so tell your friends about it. Anyone with your XP 3.0, all you RV people out there, get on the program. You know what it is. And if you are going to be adding a second battery, I know that Lectric sells their suspension seat post, but check out the Bike Case Bump Stop suspension seat post. It is the best addition for a long range ride that you can have, coupled with a Cloud9 suspension seat post, hands down the best ride. We will leave links for that in the description below as well. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary. And if you're in the area, check out eBikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your e-bike friends. Long live the Lectric community. We will talk to you next time.